for fun. So I'm going to pass that around and just take one if you want it. They're just for fun.
Class project.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi. Murphy is not
She
here.
is sick. Okay.
So,
She said all of her explaining will be done by you.
okay, and we can call this meeting to order. It is, I can't see the clock.
404.
4:04, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I'll do the roll call since. Roy Townsend is here. I'm here. Steve Hurt?
Here.
Dave Crockett? Steve Kern?
Here.
Dave Reed?
Here.
Thomas Morris?
Here.
Liz Wiseman?
Yes.
Murphy is not here. Chris Chang is
Here.
Okay, very good. All right. So the adoption of the agenda, I would like to give Jim Hartwell a few minutes just to kind of have a quick conversation about updating what he's doing and any updates we have, which I don't really think we have any. So
Is now a good time?
now, yeah, go ahead and just do that. I think we're just going to make it part of public comment. How's that?
Well, then technically, are we just flipping C and D? Is that what you're saying? Should we
We have
not?
to adopt the agenda,
Yeah,
don't we?
shouldn't we
Oh.
adopt the agenda?
Oh, we have to, that's why I said that.
Technically.
Okay, yeah, we do have to adopt the agenda.
I'll move second.
Okay. Yes and yes.
All right.
Okay. And someone is taking notes, right?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
I hope that's
We have
the
to vote on-
easiest
we have
vote
to
you
vote on
guys have
that?
to take.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And so, Jim, this is probably an exception, but go ahead and let us know what's going on with you guys. And then
Okay.
we can give anything.
I think everybody on the board knows who I am. My name is Jim Hartwell. I'm the president of the Scio Flyers. We have a land use agreement with the township that we use Township Hall as a flying field. And every now and then we like to come in front of the committee and the board to give you guys an update on things that are happening inside the club. And it's because of the generosity of Scio Township that these things are possible, right? And so we like to come in and let you guys know what's going on inside the club just to show value in the investments that you guys make in us by allowing us to use the field and this township hall. We use this township hall as a classroom. We're in here every Sunday afternoon. So that's why I'm here today. Our annual meeting is on the 21st. So I try to come to these meetings leading up to our annual meeting so that I can give our membership an update on what's going on with the Parks Committee in the township. So that's why I'm here today. Some of the things, and I'm not sure how much you guys are aware of what's going on with the club, but in 2024, at the end of 2024, the club transitioned to a 501c3 nonprofit. We are officially an educational organization in the eyes of the government. We transitioned from a social club to an educational organization. And that transition has opened up a lot of doors for us. We started our education program in 2024. It's called UAS for STEM, which stands for Unmanned Aerial System for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. This is it's UAS for STEM is the acronym. It's a program sponsored by the Academy of Model Aeronautics, so it's a national program. And what it is it's a program where teams get together, they custom build multi-rotor drones, they program them for autonomous flight, and then they go off and compete against other teams nationally. The closest analogy I could give you guys is like a robotics program at the high school level would be a close analogy to what we're doing. These kids are custom building these aircraft, they're programming them with amazing technology, and I'll get into a little bit of detail on that. And then they go off and compete. If they do well enough, they go to the championships in July in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, at an event called Air Venture, which is sponsored by the Experimental Aircraft Association of America. And that's a huge event where the kids get to compete against 26 other teams nationally. So it's a pretty big deal for them. Some of the things that we've done recently is we've been working with Washtenaw Community College. We participated in their STEAM week. They don't call it STEM, they call it STEAM. They add an A to it. And the A stands for arts, right? So there's this science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And we participated in that week and put up a display, and we had hundreds of kids come over and check us out. It was amazing. We're working with 2 organizations in Washtenaw County. One is called the Washtenaw Promise. And the Washtenaw Promise is an organization that caters to underprivileged, or how to word this correctly. The term they use is early childhood equity. And their whole goal is to try to make educational opportunities equal across any spectrum. And then we're also working with an outfit called the Thriving Educator Institute. We're exploring collaborations with both of these organizations. And the Thriving Educator Institute is an organization that works with young teachers that are getting started and bringing them in and learning and working with them to teach STEM topics in the classroom. So the Scio Flyers are collaborating with these organizations and using our program, our UAS for STEM program, as a tool for them to help enhance their programs. So the 3 of us are now reaching out, and it's our hope that we take our program and take it into the classrooms of Washtenaw County. And so that's one of our visions that we're trying to do is get into as many classrooms as we can and help those young educators teach STEM topics across the spectrum of young students. Township Hall Park, you guys know, by the way, the new playground out there, we check it out. It's really nice, beautiful. I hope it gets some use. We'll see how that goes. We love the park. I don't really have an update on it other than to tell you guys that we're willing to maintain it, and we will continue to maintain it. We've maintained it for the last 40 years out there cutting the grass, and we will continue to do that. We consider that rent for what you guys are. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you? Upcoming events. We have, going back to the Washtenaw Promise, one event that we want to run this year is we want to invite the Washtenaw Promise here to Scio Township Hall Park and have them participate in breakout sessions, which our vision of that would be, we would do breakout sessions here in the Township Hall where we would set up flight simulators and we would get the kids flying on flight simulators. We would have our UAS for STEM team in here doing demos on multi-rotor drones. And then once we're done with the breakout sessions, we would take them out to the field and we would actually get them on the sticks and have them fly around. So we want to do a day like that with Washtenaw Promise and get the Thriving Educator Institute here to get those teachers. And we figure if we can get the teachers hooked on the sticks, then we've got them, right? So that's one thing that's coming up. Field opening, our official flying field season starts on April 18th. So we're going to go out and open up our where we put up our canopy out there. I think all of you guys have been out there where we set up our temporary canopy for the summer. We'll get the grass cut and we'll get everything cleaned up for the summer season. That's happening on April 18th. As mentioned, our membership meeting is on the 21st. Anybody's welcome to come see that if you guys are interested in going through our agenda, and we'll bring you up to speed on everything that's going on in the club. That's held here in the Township Hall. It'll start at 2 o'clock on the 21st, March 21st. Other than that, we're going into a pretty standard season for us. We do our picnic in August, which we hope you guys all come out and have a hot dog and a hamburger with us. With that said, that's pretty much the reason that I'm here, is just to let you guys know that our education program is entering its 2nd year. Township Hall Park is no longer a place where just a bunch of guys are flying RC around. It is, my vision of it and the vision of the club is to turn it into a launch pad for STEM education inside of Scio Township. And we believe that we've made very good progress to that goal, and we will continue tirelessly to work for that goal. And I'll take any questions if you guys have it. I don't know if that's allowed during comments, but if you guys want to ask questions.
Yeah, I think so.
A couple.
Yep.
Excuse me, I wrote this down. UAS for STEM. UAS?
Unmanned aerial system.
Okay. For STEM. All right.
Yep.
The other thing.
And it's the number 4.
Yeah,
Yep.
Right, for
Yep.
STEM. STEM. Murphy, has Murphy called you in the last day or two?
Not in the day or two, no.
We were out there yesterday. thinking about maybe burning some of the brush that's out there. There's just too much. And we were talking about it, and we were wondering, you don't have to answer, you think about it, talk to the guys, talk to the folks. We're wondering if we could get some help from the flyers to possibly rearrange some of that wood. I mean, there's logs out there that you could probably use for your campfire. Pine wood out there's pine and lots of stuff. So we were, wondering if you could contribute either help rent a chipper or perhaps help with moving the trash around into manageable piles. Something to think about.
I don't even have to think about it. The answer is yes.
Oh.
And the reason why is that one of our guys offered to bring his splitter that he owns, we wouldn't even have to rent it,
Okay.
to come over and split wood because he wants to use it for his fire pit.
Well, there's some logs. One of the, it's funny, the piles you wanted to burn yesterday, the one that's closest to the park, the playground, has a log in there that's this big around. I said, Murphy, that's going to burn for a week.
If you set it on fire.
So, no, we can't do that. So, yes.
So yeah, we have a member. As a matter of fact, I think we have two members that own splitters.
Mm-hmm.
They live out in rural areas and they own their own splitters. When we were out there doing some trimming ourselves, he offered to come over and split it up, and it's coincidental that you'd mention it, because I think he'd be more than willing to do it. And I'm confident that if I sent out word to the club, we would get some volunteers to help do that.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell Murphy that I broached the subject with you, and the two of you can coordinate.
Yeah, we'd be more than willing to help.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, I was first going to just say, really commend you guys for reaching out to the community and bringing kids in for the STEM, opportunities, and really putting yourself out there to help kids in need. I think that's fantastic. I really love hearing that. That's great.
I totally appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we always say don't thank us because it's one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. So-
I'm sure it is, but I still want to just say, you didn't have to do that, and you're doing it, so good on you. And I guess in part to David's question, in terms of sort of what you call rent, cutting the grass, and when you say you were out trimming, I assume you mean trimming branches off of trees?
No. We called Murphy. This was last fall. We called Murphy and asked her if it was possible if we cut some trees down because they were potentially getting in our way, invasives. And as I was talking to Liz, there's a couple of trees over on the left side which are oaks. We're not experts. So when we went over there, they were in the flight line and we cut them down, and apparently they were oaks. And we apologize if we got overzealous.
Yeah, I was going to mention
Yeah, I was
that.
going to mention that too.
If we got overzealous, we apologize. What Murphy called me and she kind of yelled at me a little bit. What Murphy and I agreed to, that if we have to do that again, she will come out with us and point, because she's an expert and she'll tell us. She'll go, hey, and we apologize if we got a little overzealous out there.
Yeah. Well, okay, I guess that's one of the things I wanted to clarify, in that whatever you consider your duty or your need to sort of maintain the area, completely understand, except when it comes to major things, please, yes, we've got to interface with either Murphy or the crew, or have a protocol where maybe the crew, whatever. I'm not going to try to, set policy here or anything. I'm just saying, I appreciate you being very mindful of making sure that, we're involved in knowing what's going on, anything other than cutting grass and raking up, garbage.
Murphy and I came to that agreement, and I will make sure
Okay.
we either reach out, or I'll come into this meeting and tell you guys we're going to do it. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'd like to see as much shade as possible that we can keep, because it's,
Yeah.
there's less shade and we need more shade.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit conflicting with our purposes because, big oak trees will get in our way, right? And we have flight lines out there that we fly. We have flight patterns out there, and some of you guys have been out watching us fly, and a big maple tree and a big oak tree would cut those off. So
Well,
we want to make sure that we work with you guys, and we're mindful of it's a natural area. We want to keep it as natural as possible, but for our uses, we like clear skies. So it's a bit of a conflict, and I promised Murphy that I would work with her on future efforts.
Yeah, I think and I won't even name what I've been thinking about, but there could be an alternative if that feels like it's too tight of a spot. I would rather talk to Murphy about it and our folks before I even come up with a
Sure.
name. But I think there is a spot that I could see if this starts feeling too confined. So you're not taking down more trees. I just think that it's just, I don't know.
There are more oaks out there. There are more young oaks. Would you be willing to replace those in other locations around the perimeter?
I wouldn't even know how to begin to replace them, but.
Well, I mean, not yourself. You'd have to consult with Murphy, but they were beautiful trees. And they'd be.
Yeah,
beautiful for a while.
if there's a place around the perimeter, there's all kinds of oaks on that back corner back there. They're gorgeous.
They're big oaks.
Yeah, they're big ones.
Well, those have been growing
Those
for.
are, yeah, I know, those are great big
Yeah.
ones back there.
So that's how they get started, as the little ones.
Yeah, we've had a lot of trees end up in those oaks back there, or not, a lot of airplanes end up in those oaks back there, so.
So
But
my
the-
question, yeah, would you, if Murphy were to call you and say, would you contribute to replacing those trees in locations that would work for you but provide shade?
I would need to know what the definition of contribute is, but sure,
Right.
we would be willing to
Yeah.
work with Murphy or anybody on
Okay.
whatever it takes to maintain that park, we're there for you guys. So if it means cleaning up the debris, planting trees, we're there. Again, our interest is going to keep the skies clear because we have very expensive models that we fly around and we like clear skies. So as much as I love big trees, when it comes to the use of the park, we like it cleared out. So a
So
little
that-
bit of a conflict.
If there are growing pains, we can talk about
Yeah.
alternatives. And the reason oaks are so important is they support so many different species of animals.
Yeah, sure.
And so they're like the queen.
Sure.
So you don't want to take them down. Okay, are we good?
Yeah,
Anybody else?
I agree with Steve's comments. I think the educational program sounds exciting.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I've been here and watched them.
Oh, yeah,
They don't mess around.
yeah, that's great.
It's
Walk in the door,
amazing.
Nobody even lifts up to look. They're so concentrated on what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, come check us out there any Sunday in this room, Sunday
Yeah.
afternoon, 1 to 4, if you guys want to see it in action. It's an amazing thing. We got 9 kids they're driving towards a national competition, so it's pretty cool to watch. Thank you guys for your time.
Yeah, thanks for coming
Appreciate it. Thanks for slicing out time for us. Anything else, give me a call. I think all you guys have my number, so. If it's all right, just a shameful plug or shameless plug. I'd like to pass these out. If you don't mind.
Oh, sure.
This is this year's flyer.
oh, okay.
Hopefully I brought enough. Well, Chris, I know I have one for you. It's okay.
Thank
So that's this year's flyer, which tells.
I got 2.
Oh, there you go, Chris. Yeah, perfect. That's got our schedule of events in there and stuff like that, a little bit of information. Our website is brand new, updated, check it out. See you guys.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks.
This still says Scio Flyers. It doesn't say UAS first step.
No, it doesn't, but it says STEM on the back.
Yes, it does.
And,
Okay, yes, it does.
and then if you really want details about our UAS for STEM, go check out our website.
Will do.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
So let's move on with public comment. Speak to the Parks, Pathways, and Preserves for up to 3 minutes.
We do have David Crockett, so he's got to see it.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry, I wanted to apologize for not being there. I had a family trip planned that takes today, but I'm going to zoom in and at least watch it. I just have 2 quick comments. I know I can only speak as a member of the public. I can't vote. But one thing, be aware when we talk to the Flyers next, you were talking about chippers. They were talking about splitters. They're 2 very different things.
yeah.
So, and in terms of the naming of the grove, I would just want to pass a vote as a member of the public, just for like something with Zeeb in it. Zeeb Grove, I think I love, because that goes with our paradigm of naming things where they're at if we don't have other things upstream of that to name them for.
Dave, is that Zeeb Woods or Zeeb Grove?
Zeeb Grove or Zeeb Woods, the other one.
Oh, yeah.
I like both of them.
Zeeb
I
Woods.
like both of them. I
Okay.
like the idea it talks about where that. So I
Yeah.
would be equally supportive of both of those names.
Okay.
But thank you guys. I appreciate you guys all being there. I will see you next month for sure.
Enjoy
And
the
I'll,
trip.
I'll now be quiet.
You don't have to be.
Thanks, David. Okay. Hello. All right, so now we need to do the,
Excuse me, Rita, we
Yeah.
only have one on,
oh, I'm sorry,
Online?
you're right, thank
I
you.
just, how many people do we have online, just David?
We also have Stacy Monty from OHM.
Okay.
But her hand is raised, so if there's
Her
any
hand is
questions.
raised.
But, yep, that's it.
Okay, very good. All right, hi Stacy. Okay, so let's go on to the approval of the minutes. I assume everybody got them.
I will move approval. They were good. Thank you, Thomas.
Yes, thank you, Thomas. I'll second.
Second, okay. All right.
We have to vote
Oh.
on that?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So, regular reports, and since Murphy's not here,
But I will fill in for Murphy. She gave me like a little checklist that I can announce. We do have the vernal pool, which is out at vernal pool, that's at Van Curler, which will be this Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. It is all signed up, so I think they had 16 openings, and all 16 were taken quite quickly,
Great.
so that was good to hear. The next event that Parks will be putting on, I think, is a bird event. That'll be right here at Township Hall Park. That'll be on Friday at 7 o'clock. No, my bad, from 9 to 11. I believe it's 9 to 11. And if you want to look at,
during the day.
yes, a.m., 9 to 11 a.m. during the day at Township Hall Park. So you can sign up. Please visit the Scio Township webpage, and you can go to Scio Outside and sign up for those openings. We also, and David may mention this too, I think that maybe in his report, that Z Road Pathway 5, looks like we are going to send that one out for bid. It will be in phases. Let's see, what else did she say? I think those were the items that she wanted me to mention.
Okay. Very good.
Chris, the event at Township Hall Park from 9 to 11 a.m., that's on what date?
It is on Friday, March 20th. And there are additional events if you go on, that's just the next one, but I know there's several other events that they have planned that are up there.
So hurdles are cleared for the Z Road?
Well,
final planning?
There's a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that would have been nice to.
I'm not clear,
Okay.
but
They've just gotten higher.
they've just gotten higher, you're right. But we're going to, OHM has broken the last phase 5 into 4 pieces. The third piece is the hard one, where we don't yet have the easement. The easement was going to allow us to go up the driveway, make that hill a switchback using the Tri-Air property to go up and across and come back. But they have had second thoughts and they said no. Now Mariah's still working with the attorney, so because people at Tri-Air are really in favor of the path, but for some reason I think they think it's a liability issue. So, but we're working with them on that. There is a Plan B. There are actually Plan B and Plan C. We're going to build a bridge across the river, and one of the plans would be to put a fence at the end of the bridge, so that basically it becomes a very expensive overlook, because there's no place to go on the east side of Z except along the road. And we were thinking that we didn't want people to go across Z because it's an unprotected crossing of a very busy road. But part of the plan is to install a pedestrian-controlled overhead blinking light that will stop traffic. So if that's installed, then we can have the people, if we don't continue the path up to the railroad, people can then cross the road and go into the park, Burnstokes Park, and use that for recreation. The other plan is to hug the side of the road and go in the easement, which is least intrusive. It's not really a good plan, but it's the only plan we can come up with to get to border on the east side of Z Road. It will be a very steep climb, but there will be a curb to protect the, such as it is, protect the walkers from the cars. I don't think they'll have a fence, but there will be at least a curb. But it will be very steep, but we're told that ADA, one reason we were doing the switchback was for ADA compliance, because of the grade, I think 4% or 5%, whatever the number is. But the grade of Zebra Road is more than ADA allows, but if you cannot put the path anywhere else but on the road, if you follow the road and use the road's grade, that's ADA acceptable, not ADA compliant. They'll allow it. So that would be the, I guess that would be good because we could get everybody to border, but we wouldn't be able to get kids on bikes or folks in wheelchairs or folks with mobility challenges up that hill. But strong riders could go up that hill, but not me. Yeah.
So would that grade actually exceed the current grade as you're coming back up from the completed portion? Because that's a pretty steep trek uphill from the current
Yeah.
dead end.
Yeah, that's the part I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Going up Zebra Road,
So past the driveways,
past the driveways,
and it would be on the side of the driveways.
beyond the side of the driveway.
But people are probably doing that now because people are using
Yeah.
the county park, and then go up to
Yeah.
get the B2B.
I just was asking, it would even be more steep than the current existing pathway is and that's completed. Because if you're coming back this direction, it's a pretty
Oh, you're talking
steep
about
footpath.
from the dead end, from where it
Yes,
ends,
yes.
coming down south, or going north, it's a grade. Yeah, that grade I think is even more.
Okay.
Even more.
Well, sorry, so if you go from the river
Yes,
up around past Tri-Air,
yes.
that grade is probably 8 or 10%. And if you come the long climb up Zebra Road the other way, that's about 4.5 the whole way.
When you say the other way, what do you mean?
Sorry.
Heading south.
Heading back, right, toward the freeway. So starting at the river,
Oh, yes.
and
okay.
I'm looking at
Going-
Tri-Air right there.
Going south, it's this, going north.
If
it's
I go
this.
up that short,
Yeah,
that's about 8 or 10%, and then it's 4% all the way that way.
right.
About a year ago, when I think it was OHM was in here, I asked a crazy question. When you go over the river, we were gonna go along that bank, I'm drawing myself a map, sorry. Yeah, but we were gonna go along take a sharp right, go along the bank of the river for a bit into the side of that hill, and then come up somehow onto their property. I thought that was one of the approaches?
That
Staying
was-
on the south side of the railroad,
Yeah,
make a right, follow the river, make a left and go up.
yes.
Well, we still have to go across Tri-Air property.
No, well, so here was my crazy question a year ago. Why not just go all the way around their property and encircle
That's a
it?
crazy question.
I know, but it allows you not to have a crazy grade. You don't have any safety issues or blah, blah, blah. At least I can't think of any. Like the traffic and having to deal with trucks coming in and out of there. And then, I don't know, everybody's happy.
That's interesting, Steve. I hadn't considered that.
I
But
mean,
it's,
you know,
the side behind that property, behind all of that, it's a pretty steep drop down to the river. I mean, you would almost have to build something that's level enough to go all the way around that.
Okay, well, I didn't mean to say, I shouldn't have said 0 grade, but I was imagining, because I've never been back there. But as I drive into work on here on River Drive, and I look, when I can see through the trees anyway, and I can see the far end of this property, this curve that I'm talking about. Yes, to get from the river up to their property will require some grade, but maybe the first right-hand turn, the grade could just slowly approach wherever then the turn around the back of their property is. And now you're kind of flat going this way? No? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a big deal to go around it, I'm sure.
Probably about a mile to go around.
Is it really?
It really is on
That's a
the,
total
Right on
guess.
the edge of a
it's
cliff.
right on the edge of a drop off
Yes,
to the
I know.
river.
That's-
So that would be,
Let's live dangerously, shall we? No, I mean,
And that
I don't
might
know,
be-
I
That
mean,
might be Tri-Air property.
yeah,
I don't know
well,
what-
right, but if their concern was
Oh, yes,
safety,
yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
saying the safety is the
gotcha.
trucks going in and out and people on bikes or whatever, walking. I don't know, just thought,
Well,
go around them.
I think Thomas raised a point that might add a mile to the path. And
I don't doubt that it's some distance. I would maybe not half a mile to me tops, but not that that's nothing, of course. But anyway, I don't know. Just a thought.
It's a long way back. That's a big
is.
parking lot.
It is.
building, and then there's more beyond.
Does anyone know if is there township land back there, or is that all
Not
private?
to my knowledge.
So it
There's
would be
private
an
property.
easement across their property, but
Yes.
it would be
Or,
a different easement.
or neighbors, we need easements across any of the residents there.
And so when you go,
Oh, no, there are no residents.
Well, yeah, there can't be, because the railroad tracks cut everybody off, so it's probably railroad property. And they're easy to deal with, right?
to the north of the industrial property, there's a flood, but between the industrial property and the river, there's a floodplain. They have some picnic tables down there. I've seen it from my kayak when I'm on the river. There's some, it's kind of low and mosquito-y and wooded, and the construction costs through there would be significant.
Sure.
I think this is, all ideas should be considered, all possibilities should be considered.
I have to believe if it was even feasible, not that I'm saying it's
No,
not.
I
would
I'm
assume
not taking it personally.
OHM would have at least considered it. I don't know that for a fact, but I would hope that we would have considered it.
I mean,
And
I
when
don't-
you get around back there, you're gonna have to cross those railroad tracks at some point.
Well, no, you'd come back in, you'd hug their property. Here's the railroad here. And so you'd come around the inside, so their building is here. This is this loop around the building inside the fence, and then meet up with Zeeb at the highest part of the hill, cross where we were gonna cross anyway.
I've ridden around their property through their parking lot,
Oh,
which
okay.
they probably don't like. I mean, I didn't ask them permission because it's, it's industrial there. So trucks unloading and
Yeah,
loading.
right.
And they probably wouldn't take kindly to having a public path through there.
It'd be-
I'm
it'd be staying on
literally
the-
talking around being on the perimeter, outside the edges of their property. I would have nothing to do with their parking lot,
Right.
nothing to do with any of this activity here. I would be completely around the outside of their
My
property.
point is, in their parking lot, they got, trucks unloading,
Yeah,
and
right.
bobcats and forklifts and stuff like that.
Yep, that's true. So I would have, this would avoid all of that.
Another thing that someone asked me is if we do this and we just go in front of their driveways, would we do something where, ask people to walk their bikes so that everybody's more aware? Somebody just asked me that question. I said, I have no idea, because right now I'm sure they're using that. They're
Yeah.
going in front of the property.
Yeah, I am. I
And,
ride my
I've
bike up
seen
there.
people on the other side of the street riding with kids. There was one guy that had probably a 3-year-old on his bike and a 5-year-old on a bike behind him.
Coming down from the railroad?
They were
Or going up?
no, they were on the other side on the Washington County Park side. And they were just on the roadway. And we were out there with OHM and we're like all watching this, like,
Yeah.
wow, this is why
Yeah.
we kind of need this, but people are using it right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think, as Roy said, it kind of there's sort of a self-correction in that because of the way with all that going on. If you're going up the hill, you're probably not going very fast. It's coming back down the hill. The kids shooting down the hill on their bikes might end up in the river,
No.
Past her. But I mean,
Yeah.
but it's a little unnerving, but people are doing it now.
Yeah, do it all the time.
It's happening.
Yeah.
And OHM mentioned that they could build like a landing, like halfway down the hill, like a flat part where they could possibly slow your bike down, because coming down that hill could be kind of scary. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
so there is a challenge. We're gonna get bids for all 4 phases. And when we get to the phase where we have to make a decision, we'll make a change order. Because right now it assumes we're going to do the tri-air thing. But when we get there, if Mariah hasn't worked her miracle, we will do a change order.
So we're working with OHM and Mariah.
So I am curious though, seriously, since this is really becoming a hornet's nest beyond what it was, how would I be able to find out if someone actually has thought about going all the way around? And if somebody says, yes, we thought about it and it's impossible, great, it's impossible.
I've been sitting at the table for many years.
Oh,
And I have never heard anyone say that.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it's impossible
Yeah.
or a bad idea. I just don't know.
Yeah, no, again, whatever the decision is, the decision is what it is, but I just wondered if anybody has entertained that thought.
Chris, did you say someone from OHM is online?
There is, I don't know, Stacy, do you have anything to add?
No, I would have to check with the project team and see if that option's been looked into at all.
Okay, but you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Stacy.
Thank you.
So David, exactly what did the board approve last night?
We approved asking OHM to put this project out for bids. All four
For bids
phases.
for what?
All four phases
Of phase 5.
of phase 5.
So-
All the way to the border to border.
So, but the Peters, the rest of the trail going up to Peters Road or past Peters Road, that's set?
That's the first
The
phase.
bridge is set?
Then the getting to the railroad and then the railroad crossing.
Okay, but, so the first two of those should already kind of be set, between the,
The whole thing's designed, it's all ready to go.
Yeah.
We just need the bids.
oh, okay.
According to, I think that's what Matt said last night, is that the engineering is done, the design is done. I
Right.
guess that means the engineering is done. We just need how much it's gonna cost. So you're gonna put it out to bid, I think, possibly today. I don't know.
Okay, good.
Does that answer your question, Liz?
Yeah.
You know if any of the money that we got from, I can't remember who the representative, state representative was a couple of years ago when we were tapped, we were talking about this. And we got, I don't know, 1.2 million or whatever it was. That money, do you know if that was spent on either phase 4 or it's banked for phase 5? Do we have funds already, earmarked for 5?
It's my understanding Murphy has set aside, I think it's $2.8 million for this phase. And I think Chris is at 500,000 from MED.
Yeah,
MED.
approximately 500,000, yeah.
Yeah.
I was having a little bit of complication. I went to Matt Washington. You can see on the big screen right there where it's trying to cross. So I think what, Commissioner Kern is looking at is if you're trying to go around that river,
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine what the construction costs are,
Right around it.
the property lines, the steepness. I mean, like I said, it might be close to a mile. That's like a quarter mile around that thing, possibly.
Okay, yeah, I miscalculated
Is this-
Thomas, I'm sure you're right.
Is this a mile from these two
I mean,
guys? This is a
Entrance,
section, isn't it?
the entrance to the facility to the back of the parking lot by Google Maps measures about 0.57.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess a little over half mile, like I thought, but still, I know that there's gotta be a huge challenge along the bank of that, because that wall of earth in between the property and the water, I mean, that's gotta be probably a nightmare to do, but, until an engineer says it just can't be done, or this is how crazy it is, I don't know, I just figured I'd ask.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're playing musical chairs with your son?
Thank you, Chris, that's really helpful, I appreciate
I wanted
that.
to take a look at
Yeah.
it too, just to show you that there's a lot of challenges. to
Yeah,
try
no doubt.
To design
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, for sure, yep.
The other thing I was gonna ask Murphy, but last I knew, we have applications for the two seasonal NATs, nets. But to my knowledge, the interviews have not started yet, so I was gonna ask Murphy about that. But last I knew, they hadn't been started, so I'll check with Aurora to see whether or not we can get those, because they were supposed to start the 1st of March. So,
Okay.
let's see what else. We did buy some property last night, or we approved purchasing property and conservation easements last night.
Is the location undisclosed?
So far, we don't have purchase agreements yet, no. It was close to $700,000. So, a big conservation easement and a couple other parcels. So,
Preserve type parcels,
Yes.
not park type parcels?
Yes.
Okay.
and of course, you all know we bought the big parcel on Marshall that abuts.
Okay, that's what thought you might have been talking about, but,
The Davenport
Davenport.
property that was in the Sun Times, that was
yeah, okay.
land preservation recommended acquisition that closed on the 27th, Friday the 27th.
All right, excellent.
That's on Marshall Road.
Sorry?
That's on Marshall Road.
Yes,
I
yes,
think I've been-
Baker and Marshall.
Yeah, I think I've been on around the edge of that property. So is it where the red barn is?
There's no buildings on it, no.
property, I don't know which.
Not that property. Well, I don't even think you can do it. I don't think there's a path. It abuts the river and it abuts a part of the preserve that's, was it Sloan Preserve?
Sloan Preserve and Mill Creek, yeah.
But there's no, or Mill Creek, not the river, but I don't believe there's a path that would take you to that parcel yet.
No.
Okay. All right.
But I think Murphy is hoping to do something with that. I think that's all.
And how many acres is that property?
70?
79.
I did read your report a little bit before.
I forget. Trying to think what else we do. We got a little chintzy, but we did donate to the Dexter Senior Center. I think we should have, personally, I think we should have said more, but that's why I voted no. 6-1, I voted no, but everybody else was voting yes when I said no. But look at the elected great. I said, we should be contributing as much as Webster. Webster's contributing twice as much as we are. And they
Probably have a smaller population.
are 4% less, their percentage of usage of Dexter Senior Center is 4% less than what we do. So, and they're contributing twice as much. So, but, anyway, so, next year. Anyway, so I think that's it. But I sent you, everybody got a copy of mine. Yeah, okay.
I know, I tried to print it out before I got here. I was not successful. Okay. All right. Do we feel like we're done with?
Oh, one more thing. One more thing.
Oh, we have that Liz, right?
About the parks. The NATs dug a trench and put up a silt fence to try to capture,
That's what we weren't supposed to discuss.
to create a trench, and now they'll fill it in again. Thank you, Liz.
And let's see, so do you have a report?
Land preservation, I was gonna say the same thing as David. We have the board approved the purchase of 2 pieces of property, fee simple purchase, and the third one, the larger one, is a conservation easement. So the property, the development rights are sold, but the property owner still owns the piece of property. So very exciting, and we are most appreciative of the board's work on it.
How much does, if I think I read, I'm going to maybe get this wrong a bit, but in the Sun Times, something about maybe the Marshall Road, it's not probably what you're talking about, but it leads to my general question. Was there some contribution from Ann Arbor in
So on the Davenport
funds-wise?
property, which is the Marshall Road and Baker Road property that was in the Sun Times, we had contributions from the county and the city of Ann Arbor. So that Scio Township ended up paying 1/3 of the total price, with approximately 1/3 shared by each.
I
So
can imagine.
that is what a funding partnership ideally looks like.
Is there reciprocity there? Does Scio Township ever send money to Ann Arbor for any of the?
We
See, I didn't know.
sure,
Yeah.
we cooperate,
Okay.
on properties that are appropriate, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
terrific. I had no idea.
The Davenport is something that Scio Township initiated, and then Barry Lonick, our consultant, reached out to the city and the county and asked them if they were interested. They both toured the property, really liked it, and decided and voted on a contribution of 1/3 each.
So it's not a Scio first or an Ann Arbor first?
A lot of these
kidding.
are, no, a lot of these are shared partnerships,
Yeah,
which is
okay.
ideal.
Yeah,
It
that's
keeps
great. I
many
had no
eyes
idea
on
we
a
were
property.
doing that.
Yeah.
Terrific, thanks.
So that's all I have, yeah.
Okay. Are there any other reports I did? You gave Murphy's report.
I wanted to, may I add one comment on the Scio flyers? Or where do you want me to add this comment?
No, go ahead. 'Cause
I'm just going to make this 2 sentences. There is a conflict between flying planes and trees. I am always an advocate for trees, that won't surprise you. If there's a conflict on a Scio Township-owned property that someone is using and leasing, the Scio Township interest would prevail, it seems to me. So I would certainly be in favor of asking that the flyers contribute to the purchase of, they can't be as big as the trees that were cut down, but oak trees to be placed to provide that shade that you're talking about. They should have asked us. Anyone, I mean, most
Yeah.
people know what an oak tree is.
How big were these?
They were big. I was thinking younger. Murphy told Jim they were 30-year oaks. So they were very beautiful trees. They were just lying there on the ground.
I just don't know. I can't imagine as long as they've been there and I've been here, you know, that I've never seen anyone just go out and do that.
Well, I see their
But I
interest, and
know-
he was very firm that they need the flight path, and I think that is, I understand that, and this is property that belongs to the township that they are using.
That's exactly.
So
And
I'm a big fan of the flyers.
I am
But-
too.
And I have not had this kind of conflict before, but I think that's something we need to keep in mind.
But I think there could be an alternative, and I think I'd like to talk to Roy and Chris and Murphy before I even say it out loud, but I think that there could be.
Well, in the meantime, though,
I mean, actually,
we
have
could,
them
in the
move.
short term, we could say, hey, would you contribute, you know, whatever $100 it is to purchasing some oak trees to replace the ones that you shouldn't have cut down?
Yeah.
That would be what I would do if I were
We can
doing it
add
by
them to the-
myself.
We can add them to the shade of the park.
Sure,
By the
yeah.
sand, the sand ground.
Yes.
And by
That
the way,
totally-
is any of our tree planting coming up to shade the park going to get in their way, in some way or shape or form? Is it going to be in their flight path? 'Cause
That doesn't matter, really. I mean.
I doubt it.
you
I
know,
think.
I think that Murphy has planned for that, but, you know, what we want for our parks is.
No, I'm 100%. But one of the questions I was asking when we were thinking about how many trees, I was saying, well, can we get tree fund money and put more trees out there? But to his point, if it's possible where we can arrange for a tree to be just over here slightly, still provide the shade, but not be in a path, so that we don't have conflicts, you know? The park comes first, 100%. But,
Where we
you know,
put the playground is a pretty safe place.
Yeah.
That's why we did it over there. It's over far enough that it shouldn't be a problem. If they outgrow that field.
Yes.
And they might,
yeah.
then I think we need to talk about alternatives.
That's fine.
That's
And
my
I can see,
take on that.
right, we talked about the park being far enough out of the flight path, I know we talked about that, but it's the
Okay.
trees that shade that park that are gonna be potentially another conflict or possible issue. That's all. I mean, we need trees, and I want trees, and we will have trees, but if we can be specific enough or scientific enough in the placement of them so that we create fewer conflicts, let's just think about that.
Yeah.
I have not seen their planes flying over the playground.
Oh, okay.
The few times
There's
I've
no
been
need
out
to.
there.
They shouldn't be
Okay.
flying
No.
over.
Oh, all right.
No.
I'm not
It's
familiar with
okay.
their flight pattern, so I just wanted to.
And they have
bring
that
up.
whole wetland over there by where the playground, the school is. I mean, they have space.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be flying over the school either.
No, but there is a wetland, it's true.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that really we should consider alternatives if this is becoming a problem.
Mhm.
So that's something, and that's why I wanted to make sure we plant that seed.
Yeah, there you go. Along with a couple trees.
It's like, okay, keep growing it, but, okay. All right, I think that's, any unfinished, oh, of course.
Yes,
Arbors Grove.
right.
So I don't know that much about the history, and I'm embarrassed to say that, but I don't know very much about the history of that. And I was toying around with names of things, and the Arbors Grove, I just kind of looked it up, and it's kind of like a woody grove, right? Just, and that's what it is. So that's why I made up this list. I just got carried away playing with the thesaurus.
No, I think that's very helpful. I think
doing
it's a good
this.
idea. Yeah.
And, but then I also I do like the interlude because I love that word, but also the Zeep Woods.
Yeah.
I like that too because it's, I don't know that we want to call it a preserve. My husband said, well, it's kind of a preserve, isn't it? And it's like,
I think when, last time we were here, we talked about it. And I think, one of us, I think, threw out the interlude preserve, and Murphy says, no, just the interlude. You know, just the interlude.
yeah.
It won't be a park, no parking lot. Whether or not we can even put a trail in there, I don't know, because there's a lot of water, a lot of wet. And maybe we don't want to put a trail in there. Maybe it becomes just
A holding spot.
a place for interlude, an interlude between traffic and the people who live there. But to your point, or your Thomas's point, it becomes almost a private park for the people for that surrounding community, because there is no place, and that Thomas's point is we should talk with them about allowing 2 or 3 cars to park on their private road, so that people can at least go in and use whatever path we put in there. So I think that's something we
Or
need.
go birding or, you know,
They were hot to preserve it, so they should be hot to allow.
exactly, and we paid a lot of money for it, so. And there is a pathway that kind of goes in on the edge over there where that, I don't know if it's a landscaping company or something.
Right.
So they put in a tiny pathway into there.
How do we end up buying something without access to it? How do we do that? How does that
It's a
happen?
settlement.
Oh,
This
okay.
was an unusual
It
situation.
was
Oh, okay.
unusual, this
Okay.
wasn't planned.
Oh, all right.
Anyway, so I just did this and I was gonna bring, I don't think we need a whiteboard, I think,
We just circle our favorite.
Yeah,
and
circle what
pass
you
it in
like, and,
put it on a little square.
and let's just, I mean, I don't mind putting things up on the whiteboard. If you wanted to do it that way, I think whiteboards are good for that, but,
I'll make a comment, which is I like the name the interlude if we were naming a perfume. But I like the mystery of it, but because this is something I've learned probably from my wife, because sometimes I like things for kind of perverse reasons and I have to back off that. So I like it because of its mystery, but when we were naming it, I think the more practical name is probably Zebe Road Woods. Zebe Woods.
Zebe Woods, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
we probably are close to the same page.
I know, I feel that way too, and, you know, I like it. I was thinking of the word canopy because I feel like we bought it for the canopy, because those are all mature trees. And that's why that's what brought in all these other words, like a refuge and a feeding ground, really, it's like a little nurturing spot. And
Those would
so,
be-
that's why I came up
We
with.
have a good vocabulary here from your list, a good vocabulary to use in the write-up about it, perhaps.
Yeah,
But it's like, just like a little pocket, you
A
know,
practical name is probably better.
yeah.
yeah.
Based on the price it was, we could probably call it Rockefeller Center.
Yeah. Still find a litigation.
Can we
solution.
vote on a motion to agree to Zebe Woods for the,
Yeah.
or do you want to like have a circle the thing and then turn them into you? And you
No, I
can
think,
count
I'm
them?
not hearing anybody
Zebe
say
Woods,
that they're
I mean,
stuck on
yeah.
anything.
We'll raise our hands for Zebe
Sure.
Woods.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the interlude, but I'll go with the majority, but I think obviously, Murphy, I think, has the final say, being the parks director, don't you think? Or do you think she would go with what we go with?
She said in her email that she
Yeah.
was
Okay.
She would
sure
be
that we
happy.
would make the right
Yeah.
decision.
Zebe Wood?
I would expect the Board of Trustees has the final.
Oh, the
Yeah,
board-
there you
board, I
go.
think, was final.
Thomas,
Yeah.
yeah.
Zebe
Yeah.
Woods,
Yes,
not Zebe Road Woods.
I know, I keep
Zebe
thinking
Woods.
it's
No.
a zebra.
Take the road out.
yeah,
Take
take
the
the
road out.
Zebe Woods. I mean, I think it's clean, I love it, I think it's great. Yeah.
The interlude at Zebe Road.
Okay, I'm going to move that we recommend that the little 5-acre parcel on Zebe Road that we're talking about be renamed from Arbus Group into Zebe Woods.
Second.
Excellent.
I'll second that. Or, no,
Yeah,
I'll
no,
say
he
yes.
seconded.
He
I
seconded.
excellented,
Yeah.
he seconded.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Woods,
all right. It describes where it is and what it is, and
Yeah,
that's about all there
I
is to
think
it.
it's great, yeah.
Yeah.
kind of, yep.
I mean, of course, I was really into making up all
Yep.
that.
I like the mystery,
Yes? Okay,
But yeah.
Mystery Woods.
mystery. Okay, what else?
Okay,
We have no
so new business. Think of anything.
Do we have any new business?
I mean, I would like to hear more about what's going on with some of our projects as far as, like, are we doing more on the playground back there? But we can talk about
Okay.
it.
I said phase 2 is completed, I know they've got landscaping in it.
So I don't think that we have big plans. One thing
I
I
mean, there is a
will-
phase 3, but we can talk about that at another meeting.
Yeah.
That more is probably a
Might be
Murphy
nice when
topic.
Murphy's here.
Get into phase 3.
What I would like to talk about though is I know the Scio Flyers have that canopy that they put up. And it would be nice if we had something like that, even if it wasn't, I mean, it had to be that big, but something for the sandbox.
Yeah,
I just
sure.
worry about kids sitting there. I mean, I've had skin cancer on my face from being in the sun too much, and so.
Well,
I just
isn't this
feel
the
like there should
talk
be
we had about the
something.
sales, and that's why we putting
Yeah,
trees
but
in? It's gonna
there-
take time for the trees to grow.
Their
Yeah.
canopy, I mean, they put it up, they're gonna put it up in April, and it just stays up until fall. And it doesn't seem to be, a problem, and it works. And I don't know why we can't do something on a smaller scale. I'll just say that, and we'll leave it like that.
Where, I guess, where would it, I'm trying to picture, where would it be?
Over the sandbox is what you mean?
Somehow over the sandbox,
On the south side between the sandbox and the sun.
you have it.
Because you have to be able to sink the posts into solid ground,
Yeah.
not sand, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, so probably outside of the sandbox,
Straddle.
yeah. I know, I would like to see something that the kids can turn a wheel, like you'd see at the Hands-On Museum, and change the shade as you
Yeah.
need it, something, that's what I would like.
That's another scout project.
That's
That's a whole nother.
Yeah.
but wouldn't it be cool?
It would be,
cool.
no question.
So,
Interesting, intricate. I'm making a list of words.
I'm thinking, I don't know if it would be metal or something, something to attract
The
light.
thing they have is canvas.
Yeah, it is canvas for now, but I think if we do something in the future, it'd be fun to really kind of make it kind of something interesting, more interesting than.
So, just out of curiosity though, when we do plant trees out there for the purposes of shade around the sandbox, have we already decided they're on the south side of the sandbox?
There's some planted already.
Oh, they're planted already?
I think there's a couple out there that they planted.
Okay.
On the west sun, maybe the kind of more brutal, it's gonna be hotter in the afternoon, it's going to be more likely to be more kids out there in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right.
it's something to think about. I would like to plant that seed that we consider doing a canopy until we can either get the trees to grow or something else. More plant or more money or something. Okay, that's all.
I have an item of new business, which is not really our business, but I understand the city of Dexter is considering putting in, or doing something with their playground, replacing their playground equipment down by Mill Creek behind the library. And I'm gonna work on getting them some information, if they don't have it already, about natural playscapes.
I'm still drawing a blank on the name of that business.
The name I have is Dan Perot.
Dan Perot.
MRC.
That's the contact person.
Michigan Recreation.
Yeah, MRC,
Yeah,
right?
MRC.
Yeah, MRC.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. And I thought they were very good to work with.
I'm gonna get that name to them in case it's useful to them, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay. And they've done a lot of parks in Ann Arbor. A lot. So,
Dexter there, and they.
Right, I don't know what, I have no experience with the Dexter Parks Committee, but my son is a resident of Dexter, and I had talked to him previously about the natural playscapes. In fact, we've been to some natural playscapes because he is the father of my grandson. We go to natural playscapes to check them out, to educate me because I'm kind of out of touch with playgrounds.
Is that what you call this? Our playground, natural playground?
Yeah, right. That's the idea
that was
behind
the
it.
idea.
Right.
Yeah, that was
The
before your
slide's
time.
not in there though, is it?
It is.
It is, the slide is.
It's not as big as I thought it was gonna be, but it's there.
Oh, it is.
It's on the backside though, so you, yeah. I was out there yesterday, I didn't see it. But I did.
Yeah, natural playscapes, less plastic, less steel, more wood.
Not a wooden slide though.
Well, they use metal. Yeah, they use a lot of metal. It's just mostly no plastic and.
The slide is metal because although plastic is a good surface for that, our consultants had a point about plastic being unhealthy for certain
Hearing
children.
aids.
Hearing aids, that was it.
Hearing aids.
Hearing aids.
Yeah.
Cochlear implants,
Yeah,
thank you.
implants.
Thank you for reminding me
Because of
about that.
static?
The static. And I think it's pretty painful if the kid with an implant goes down.
Right, I remember he had pointed out something to me that I had never thought.
I I didn't know it either. Okay, all right. So, do we have anyone else for public comment?
We do have Dave Crockett again.
Oh. Your hand is up?
Hi, guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make one little comment to be thinking about before we decide about the canopy over the playground, is that we do have one issue that the Flyers don't have, is that we're encouraging kids to be there, and kids means climbing, which means it needs to be a sturdy structure.
Yeah.
From time with my grandkids, the minute my back is turned, they're climbing everything.
Yeah, good point.
And so I think I love the idea of a canopy to keep the temperature down, but I'm just concerned about making sure that the structure is sturdy enough to hold up to it.
What do you think about, like, in the near term or short term option, getting a tent company to just rent one for the summer? And then we can try it, and if it works, we can see the good, the bad, whatever. Maybe they could even consult on, hey, this is how you keep kids from climbing on it, whatever. I mean, they've got tents everywhere with all kinds of events. Maybe we rent one for a summer, just see how it goes, if it makes any sense.
The one the Flyers use, that stays up no matter whether there's a thunderstorm
Right.
going through or what.
and it's open, it's not like a tent where it has walls, it's open.
So is it as simple as one of those collapsible sort of?
Well, the problem is if you get it too collapsible, it's gonna
It'll
do that.
collapse. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean a tent per se, I know I
Yeah,
said that. What
but
I
some
meant
kind
was
of-
tent companies that have canopies that they put up for weddings and events and whatnot. Just rent one and try it, see how it works out.
I think that's a really good idea. It kind of makes up for the crazy idea about going around the company at Zeeb. So that's a good idea.
Wait, what was the Zeeb crazy idea?
Nothing. I was just making a comment. Sorry, I'll bring that up in private. No, I think that's a very good idea.
Okay.
Well, we could do something that is a little more permanent, that just has, I'm thinking of like an arbor kind of thing that you can put plants on too. Slats somehow, and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And then put some, well, the thing is, you may attract bees, which may not be great for the kids, but it would be high enough.
I built two, put wisteria on one, mistakenly.
Yeah.
It was made of wood. I put wisteria on a wood.
I like wisteria, I understand, but I know it's like,
The canopy that the guys had, the Flyers had last year was up, like you said, all summer. And now it's a bit of a walk from the park to the canopy, but I don't know of any kids that tried to climb that canopy.
I've never seen anyone try
The
to.
pole's only that big. I mean, there's no steps or so I don't know. Anyway, but it's pretty sturdy, the way they put it in there. It's pretty sturdy. Because obviously it survived all the thunderstorms we had.
I know that there would be costs associated with some kind of foundation or holes for the posts, but these gazebos that you can get at Costco, for example, they're really not very expensive, and it would at least provide potentially some shade for parts of the sandbox, as well as for parents to be under.
That's important too. If you want people to bring their kids out, and the kids have shade and the parents don't, we're going somewhere else.
I think if it's something that's not, if it's built just not the right way, somebody might have to deal with it if there's an anticipated big wind
I
event.
had to deal with it, what?
Oh, no,
If
the
there's
thing
a
I'm talking
big
about
wind
is the
event,
wood.
and
Yeah,
I
it's
just,
rough.
and I know all of our parks people live an hour away, so that would fall on someone here or utilities to deal with it.
Well,
So,
it would have to be resistant to wind.
Yeah.
We couldn't be taking it up,
No.
going up and taking it down.
And again, these tent people that used to be, I don't know who they are anymore, but they've got to have tents that stand, storms and wind. I'm sorry, I keep saying tent. Canopy, sturdy, anyway.
it's something I would like us to consider, because June rolls around and it is so brutally hot, and,
Yeah.
the sun is out there a long time, and and we don't have a water feature. That would be nice.
Hey, Rita?
Yes.
We also have somebody with another hand raised, I guess, Mary Readings.
Okay.
Yes, we should, yes.
Good. Readings, that's up there, varied readings.
Okay.
Yep.
Hello.
Mary?
Hi.
Hi, guys. Sorry, my name is set from a different meeting. It's Mary Gillis.
Oh, of
Mary
course.
Gillis,
That's
okay,
what I
my
thought.
bad.
Yeah, when I was working full-time at the township, I one time was out in the park when somebody was from the Flyers was setting up that canopy. And I asked him if he needed a hand, because it didn't seem like a one-person job, but clearly he had been doing it as a one-person job forever and sort of resentfully said, "No, I always do it on my own." But what the reason I'm telling you this story is, I think you could go to the Flyers and ask them what the heck they've got going there, right? Because obviously they put it up and it stays up for 7 months regardless of the weather. I don't think
Agreed.
you need to reinvent the wheel. You could ask them what they've got, and how long it's lasted, all of those things.
I can,
Yeah, good
I've kind of
idea.
got a relationship with Jim. I can talk to him sometime
Sure.
and just try to.
Maybe they'll buy you a tent like that and set it up as compensation for taking
For the
down
trees.
the trees. Yeah.
There you go.
I have to say, I'm so much more outraged than you folks are that they came on our property and took down our trees.
No,
I would
think
say that's just outright illegal.
Yeah.
So, you know.
We're not happy about it. But
we're not happy about it. I'm trying not to like carry that anger around like a badge.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
I was not happy about it, and I think I don't want. That's why I wanted to mention that is like we want the shade,
Yeah.
and you know if you're outgrowing the park, then we can talk about other things.
Right.
Okay, thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Sure thing.
That's it. I
Okay.
can't believe that guy brought that tent up by himself. I mean, that's a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Practice.
So I think we can adjourn.
Okay.
Everybody satisfied?
Aye.
Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Aye.
Okay.
Oh, second, sorry. That's first.
Okay.
And the vote.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well done.
Thank you all.
I gave myself a
Thank you.
lecture today, like, don't let this go along, it doesn't need to go along today. Good.
Well,